Hi everybody, my name is Kathy Swango and I am your instructor for Humanities 121 Peace Studies this semester. I am the Assistant Dean of Humanities and a Professor of English and Humanities at Bluegrass Community and Technical College in Lexington. I've been teaching at BCTC for 22 years. And I've been teaching Peace Studies for 7 or 8 years. I really enjoy Peace Studies. I hope that you find it to be challenging, interesting, important material. A lot of times students tell me that it's life-changing for them. And so I hope it's a good experience for you. I want to show you around the course a little bit and just explain a couple of things that might be a bit confusing, and then turn you loose to start the course material. You'll notice these items up here in the upper left corner. Content will always bring you back to this page where you have links to all of the different modules in the course. The calendar, of course, takes you to the calendar, and on that you can view it by week or by month. And you can see the due dates for this particular class there. The discussions link takes you to the discussions board, but I really recommend that you not use it because it really is just the boards themselves, and going through the content will always allow you to see the material that you will be doing the discussion post about. So I encourage you to go through the content through a module to access any of the discussion boards, and I'll show you that. The grade book shows you the grades, and it has a list of all of the items that are graded in the course. Right now we're looking at my grades, and I've given myself a perfect score on everything to make sure the numbers add up right. But you'll be able to look at this and see what your total points are out of 1,000 and see what your individual grades are on these items, and be able to see, for instance, at midterm where you stand out of 450 points. You'll be able to see that. And again, these are in order, and so they just will build as you go. And then you'll always be able to see a grade of a percentage of the points that you have completed. So it should show you basically where you are. And then there is a messages link, and this allows you to send a message to me and to see any messages that I might have sent to you. There also is a link along the left to announcements, and that will allow you to see any announcements that I have sent. Anytime I send a new announcement, it will appear as a pop-up as soon as you log into the course. I also will send those announcements as emails to your school email, but if you need to review a previous announcement, you can always click on that to open that. All right, so here we go. So once you've watched the video, then you would click on the Start Here folder or module, and with that, with each of the modules, I have a suggested due date and an absolute due date. So I suggest that you do this by this date, but you must do it by this date. I don't allow except late work. So pay attention to these dates. And there is one of those items for every one of these modules, either a suggested and final due date or merely a final due date if it's the last item, for instance, in that group of assignments. So let me start in here and look at the Start Here folder. In each of these modules, it begins with a what to do in this section, and in that there will be a list of things that you need to look at, and you will move from one item to the next by using this arrow up here in the upper right corner. So all of this material is here for you, and then when you reach the last of those, then the arrows, there will be no more arrows. Let's see, at this point there'll be no more arrows after this introduction. The last item, there are no more arrows, and so you can click this X to X out of it, and then close this module, go to the next module, use the drop down, and then again what to do in this section, a list of what you're going to do, and then move through from one item to the next. So that's the way the course is set up. There also are these little circles here showing your progress, so you can track and see what you have done and what you have not done yet. I have not used those before, so I hope they're valuable. Let's see, another thing I want to show you about this. I've talked about the due dates. I've talked about moving around in the modules. I recommend that you download and save the syllabus. So that's in the Start Here folder. So as you click on this item, I recommend that you download it, save it, either the entire syllabus or the schedule. If you just use the download the schedule, what it will be is a 4-page document that shows you all of those due dates, all of the assignments, and all of the due dates. Now they're listed here in the course in each of the modules at the top, telling you what to do in that section. But if it would help you to have this on a separate document where you can just, pin it to a bulletin board or put it in a notebook and mark things off as you go through, then I encourage you to do that. There are a lot of modules and there's a lot of work, but nothing in here is hard. So the types of assignments we have are discussion boards, quizzes, primarily reading quizzes or quizzes over videos or films that you watch. There are 2 interviews papers where I ask you to do a set of interviews and explain what type of interview and what questions you'll ask and what kinds of people you want to ask them of. And then you'll write a paper about each of those sets of interviews. There also is a research paper, a research-based paper on basically a topic of your choice having to do with peace or justice or someone who has worked in this area, Martin Luther King Jr., Dorothy Day, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Greta Thunberg, someone that you're interested in, something or someone that you're interested in. And that'll be a research-based paper. And then there are 2 exams, a midterm exam and a final exam. For each of those exams, there is a review sheet, a study guide in a way, that I encourage you to download and take notes on as you go through the material. I have those in the Start Here folder, where near the bottom of that module, the study guides. And so you can go ahead and download the midterm study guide and start taking notes on it as you work through the material. Download the final exam study guide, take notes on it, and then you can use that for the open notes, open book, timed exam, both the midterm and the final exam. Open notes, open book, but 90 minutes. And so if you rely on having to look every item up, then you will lose points on the exam, because for every minute that you go over 90, you will lose points. So that's what the course looks like. The textbook information is in the Getting Started folder. And so there you'll see a picture of the textbook and the textbook cover and information about where you can order it. I also, if you're a BCTC student and are on the Newtown campus, I do keep a copy of the book that you can borrow in the library, in the Learning Resource Center at the Newtown campus. You cannot check it out, but you can check it out for use in the library for, I think, maybe 2 hours. And that would allow you to do some reading there if you don't want to buy the book. There is a Kindle version that's very inexpensive, rental version through Amazon that's very inexpensive. I think even a rental version, rental version through Barnes & Noble that's very inexpensive. So play around in the course, learn your way around, see what's there, see what isn't there. If you have questions, I've included in the Start Here, there's a section that tells you how you can contact me, when my office hours are, different ways to reach me, how you can text me, how you can call me, email me, chat with me in Microsoft Teams. So lots of different ways that you can contact me and stay in touch and get help when you need it. Again, I think the course is inspiring, is interesting, challenging, and I think the textbook is really important. It's only 10 chapters long, and we will read the entire book. The first half of the book is on war, and the second half is on peace, with a final chapter talking about how, I think maybe the 9th chapter, talking about how we as a world, as a global community, might go about creating world peace, a system that establishes and contributes to world peace. So just some really interesting material. I hope you enjoy it. So get started. Welcome to class. I look forward to getting to know you and to having these several months together. Best wishes.